Hello, I'm back to Yap months later. And I know what you're thinking. Dare say, Caitlin's back to Yap? Yes. So as you might know, sometimes I do a nighttime routine. And here's the thing. Do I like the camera angle? Hold on. I'm worried that I'm not gonna like how this looks. Am I the drama? Okay. Hi, I'm back to Yap. Here's the thing. Some of you might remember, and by some of you I mean no one. The only person who gets this is Nick. Bestie. I used to do a FaceTime, a nighttime routine. I was really good at it for a really long time. And then your girl went through some depression. It's fine. It's the acne that Nick says that I don't really have, but I do. It's there. See, I have some here, and there's some on my cheeks. And there's some like right here, I can feel it. And I really should get back into actually like doing it for the sake of, I got called a freshman in high school the other day, which I disagree that I look like one. I think that I do look a little more mature than that. But if I want to keep my 25 face forever, I'm not 25, I'm 27. If I want to keep that forever, or at least until I'm into my 40s, skincare is very important. Wear your sunscreen, kids. So I thought I would do my face, wash my face. I thought I would wash my face and continue to do this. Typically, when Nick and I would do our cute little FaceTime calls where we do each other's nighttime routine together, we'd actually do it and get it done. And we did it for several times in a row, and then we stopped doing that. So it's like, but I figured I should do it again. So I have jellyfish hair. Now what you might notice, my hair is shorter. I cut my hair. I'm so excited for it to grow back. I don't want it to be long again. I also don't. It's in a really awkward phase right now where I probably should get it cut again, but I think my husband likes me better with long hair, so I'm gonna grow it out. And I know what you girlies are thinking in the comments. By girlies in the comments, I mean no one. But I know what anyone would be thinking if they heard me say that. And it's like, I know I would say if it was me in the comments, which is like, fuck your husband and what he wants. And he agrees, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I asked him to keep a beard, therefore I think that if he's gonna listen to me do that, I should probably listen to him. But I also don't know, like, if I look better one way or another, and so that's also important to me. Professional yapper, I haven't even started my skincare routine yet. This shirt I got at Dino's, I know it says Dinosaur World, but you'll notice that Dino is in blue, and to emphasize the Dino part, to represent Dino World. This is the one that's in Glen Rose, Texas, but there's also two other locations. There's one in Cave City, Kentucky, the OG Dino World. I don't know if that's true. There is a franchise, so I don't know which one opened first. But there's Cave City, Kentucky, and then there's also one in Plant City? That sounds wrong. Florida. It's in Florida. So go visit them. I'm endorsing. This is my formal endorsement. I don't get paid for it, but this is my formal endorsement. Am I recording? I am. Hi. I look jaundiced right now. Spritz. I know what you're thinking. I could just whoosh my face with water. I don't like to do that. I use the Tatcha rice wash to wash my face because my face is disgusting. I usually get it a little bit wet because it helps it spread. And it's supposed to get foamy, but I'm also cheap. I don't know if I use enough. Like I'm supposed to. Like I don't know if I use enough to like actually wash my face. At this point, I think I'm a little dry on it. Hold on. Oh, it's a little foamy. I can't see. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't see unless I get really like up close, which is funny and unusual. So life updates. I don't remember the last time I made a video, but what have I been doing recently? So I've been watching a lot of Dropout. I remember College Humor from high school. I was in high school. I'm pretty sure when I would watch it was like, what, in the 2010s, like late 2010s or something like that. And I remember College Humor. I was not in college yet, but I did enjoy the content. I did not like watch it religiously though. It was just like, oh, I'd see like on Facebook every now and again. And then when the when all the Watcher stuff happened, where like Watcher was like starting their own channel, there was a lot of like comparison and like criticisms in comparison to Dropout. And I was like, I don't know what Dropout is. Why would I? I don't watch it. Also, I don't pay for like an additional subscription service. I already pay for enough, right? But there was a lot of comparison to Dropout and Watcher and why like Watcher wasn't going to be successful but Dropout was, and how they handled it and blah blah blah. And then on Instagram I see a lot of little clips of Dropout, particularly Game Changer and Make Some Noise, and particularly Bread and Lee Mulligan. I don't know why. I do know why. It's a dumb thing to say. I don't know why. We'll stick with that. So anyway, about what was happening. I must have been on YouTube, and I think that a Game Changer like clips, reels or short or whatever might have popped up, and I was like, LOL, I should look this show up. It looks like something I would like. It looks funny. So I did so, and I looked it up. I'm not doing my face routine. Hold on, let me wash my face off. Dude, that sucks. Who wants to fucking do that? So anyway, I looked it up and I started watching, like they have a couple of full episodes episodes on their YouTube channel. So I started with watching the full episodes. I think all the ones that they have on YouTube are Brendan Lee Mulligan ones. So there was a lot of him, and then there was like, I thought he was really funny, and I was like, oh, he's comedic, and I enjoy him, and I enjoy other people who are on the show. And I was like, what's this? And so then I started watching little compilations of like the Noise Boys and then Brendan Lee Mulligan. And I was like, oh, this is fun. And then it popped up the D20 or Dimension 20, which is his D&D like tabletop role play game stuff that he does on Dropout was also popping up, and I was like, oh, you know, and I'm not into D&D, but I know a lot of people who are, and I'm not against D&D, but I've never played it, and I don't know how to play it, and I don't think I'll ever learn how to play it. But anyway, so I was like, oh, this is interesting, this might be fun to watch with my husband because he likes nerdy shit like that. But I really like Game Changers and Make Some Noise, and then Actually and stuff like that. So anyway, I decided then, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get the 3-day free trial to Dropout, because I knew that they had their own little streaming service, and I was seeing all these little clips, and I was like, I want to watch these in the context that they're in, and I want to watch more. So I started to do that. I did that. Now I have a monthly subscription. This started like a week ago, by the way, but I did watch all the Game Changers and Actuallys and Make Some Noise that Brendan Lee Mulligan is in. And I started listening to Dimension 20 on my drives to work, or like when I'm like just like chilling and stuff like that, or if I'm driving other places. So that's what I've been doing this last week. Anyway, my next step is typically to use my skin cream. I have a big one of this, and it's in my bedroom, and I should use that one instead of using up my travel size one that I take to travel with me, but I'm too lazy to go upstairs. So I'm gonna use this one instead. I don't know if this is focusing. It's the Dewy Skin Cream. In my last video that I made for Nick, I talked about how I was influenced to get this by Nicola Coughlan, who plays Penelope Bridgerton in Bridgerton, or Featherington, whoever you might refer to her as, Penelope. And I still think that it's a great decision. I still think that it has done the most for my skin that anything ever has. I do think that there's something to be said for buying expensive things. It doesn't always necessarily like outweigh the benefits, but I can definitely tell you that there is a reason why it's more expensive. I've had really good experience with this particularly. I've really enjoyed it. Like I said, I have a big one upstairs. I do also have the water cream because I got it in like a little like gift set, and I just wanted to try it out. And the water cream's not my favorite. I'll use it when I am just doing a little bit of hydrating, but I don't use it super often. That's why I only have the travel size version of it, because I just feel like I feel like it almost dries out my skin more than I want it to, as opposed to the one that I'm using right now, which is the Dewy Skin Cream. I will say though, I'm upset at myself because I just put this all over my face, which is fine. It is the purpose, but I prefer to put acne patches on first, because otherwise they don't stick when you have the nice Dewy Skin Cream on your face. So it probably means I won't be getting to do acne patches tonight, which is really inconvenient because I really should. So anyway, back to Dropout. No, I've really been enjoying the content, and I've really been enjoying Brendan Lee Mulligan, and all of them, by the way, are so funny. The reason why I maybe am particularly drawn out to Brendan is because I connect with him in a lot of ways as far as like knowledge goes, and his reactions to winning / losing games. I really appreciate that. So I very much have been enjoying him, and that's why I'm making a specific reference to him. They're all fucking hilarious. Every single one of them is so funny. Sorry, I saw a bug. Every single one of them is so funny, and I'm so impressed when I watch them. I'm not a big like improv person, but then when I was like growing up, I really liked Whose Line Is It Anyway, so maybe I am as nerdy as I say I'm not. Who knows? Ugh. You see, it's gonna peel off because I put my face cream on first, and so it won't adhere really well. Time to put my glasses on. Normally I would do a roller. I used to do a roller. I have my gua sha as well that I could technically do, but my roller has not been in the freezer all day. And I like when it's in the refrigerator, the freezer, when it's cool and you just like, ooh, and like it helps like deflame the face. I feel like I took this off because it was gonna fall off. If we can find my roller, we'll put it in the fridge while I brush my teeth, and hopefully it'll be cold afterwards. So let me find it. Hold. Gua sha? No. I swear to God. Keep losing my roller. It's always so it's literally in my hand. Hold on. Maybe I decided this video specifically so I could talk about my new hyperfixation to Dropout. I think it's a fair hyperfixation though, because Dropout, from what I've learned thus far, they kind of rock. Like they're kind of like fantastic. all the comedians, the company itself, Samurai, all of that stuff. So like I get the appeal behind them, and I understand why. When I was watching that Watcher video all back in the day, is this whole video going to be about Dropout? Yes. We can also talk about The Samurai Turned Pretty, because I've also been watching that. It started this season. I did not start when it first came out 3 years ago, or however long ago it came out. That's mostly though because I don't like watching new series, because I prefer they're done by the time I watch them. And so when they're not done, I get frustrated. I recently learned though that Lola Tung, I think is her name, she played Eurydice in Hadestown alongside Jordan Fisher for a little while, for like a very short run. I love Hadestown. I saw it in their traveling show this last February, and it was great. I knew it was going to be, the music was just, I saved listening to the music for my first time seeing it, like all of it. I had heard like the really famous ones, but I saved it because I wanted like to have the experience myself, and I'm so happy I did, because it was just, it blew me away. I was just so impressed. It gave me literal chills like half the night. So listen, I might not be super experienced seeing a bunch of musical shows. However comes face, I have seen a few now, and I'm very proud of myself for seeing them. I'm gonna brush my teeth, and I think brushing your teeth on camera is gross, so I'm not going to. Like, I'm gonna record because I'm not gonna stop, but then I'm not gonna include any of it, you know, you get it. So I watched The Samurai Turned Pretty, and I started post into season 3, so I watched all season 1 and 2, and then I started going into season 3, and it was really interesting watching like my own attitude change about it, because I was like, I didn't like Jeremiah or Conrad, and I like Conrad now. I don't like Belly, so it's fair. However, Cameron writes, absolutely the only one that matters. However, if I had to pick between Jeremiah and Conrad, obviously it's Conrad. I'm not a fucking idiot. But it's been fun to watch. It's been a while since I've watched something that kind of like has those vibes, and I've enjoyed it. So, in the way that like I enjoyed To All the Boys I Loved Before, in like a really like nostalgic teenage girl way, where it's like, oh my gosh. I have watched My Life with the Walter Boys, which I read today was like a Temu version of The Samurai Turned Pretty, which is so fair. I never finished My Life with the Walter Boys because I was like, this is kind of cringe, and I did stop it. But Samurai Turned Pretty, I've given past to. So in all intents and purposes, my nighttime routine is kind of done. I wash my face, I put my little creams on, I brush my teeth, and now they're all pearly white and cute, flossed, you know, the Yoge. I don't have a lot more to say. Watch Dropout, watch Game Changer, actually Dimension 20, all the other shows on there that are fantastic, Dirty Laundry. Check them out. Promote Brendan Lee Mulligan, play Dungeons and Dragons, watch The Samurai Turned Pretty, and yeah, so I'm gonna keep yapping. I'm gonna go bother my husband though with my yapping now, so stay clean, wash your hands, and you know, all that fun stuff. So bye, good night.